Good afternoon. My name's Tabitha Myler, and I'm here with Randy Jordan. And I'm going to let Randy introduce his company as well as tell us a little bit about the company and what they do. Randy?
Yes, I'm Randy Jordan. I'm owner and managing partner of Graham County Land Company. Graham County Land Company is a company that my father started early 70s. The name went full bore in the construction business 4 years ago, and doing a lot of work all across the southeast.
Yeah, and I did see that as I was doing a little bit of research, that originally it started in 1972. It looks like your father passed away in 94, and then back in 2013, you kind of did a revamp and a rebranding of the company to get it ready to do some of the things you're looking to do now.
That is correct. So we're heavy into the construction business before it was just more or less a land holding company.
I kind of remember that. I insured some of those things before. So let's start back at the beginning. Even before this company, you were born into a construction family, and so I always like to kind of go way back and see if people have images, some real vivid memories that they might have since your dad was involved. Do you remember Phillips and Jordan, your dad and uncle's company from way back? Do you have some memories of that?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was born in a construction family, and so I've known it all my life. Been around their shops, their equipment.
I bet it was really cool being a little boy and being able to play on those big tractors and backhoes.
It was, and I aggravated a lot of people, as a kid playing around stuff that I wasn't supposed to play with.
Yeah.
So,
and back then you probably got to play. Nowadays, OSHA. You
yeah,
probably can't
right.
let anybody on the equipment nowadays. Well, I know the family business isn't for everybody, but why did you decide to stay? What made you want to get involved in the family business?
Well, I don't know that it was a particular choice other than just when I got out of high school, I had no intentions really of going to college. I wanted to go to work, and so I went to work for myself for a while. Then I went to work for my uncle Leonard Phillips, and then I ended up over at Phillips and Jordan and stayed there 25 years. So.
Yeah, I hadn't even really thought about your Uncle Leonard, because he did some of that kind of work too.
Yeah.
I think maybe the brothers were kind of in rival business there for a
little while.
Yeah,
they were ego maniacs against each other.
Yeah. Push each other a little bit harder.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, I know there was a parting of ways between your father's business, Phillips and Jordan, and the current ownership. To my understanding, I know that there were some different views of the direction that the company was going to go, something that probably didn't sit that well with you. Are there still any hurt feelings about that since it was your family's business? Or are you just kind of focused on the future and going forward?
No, there's no hard feelings. I mean, I had a great career, very profitable and beneficial for me for 25 years, and so there's one thing consistent about life, and that's change. It's always going to be changing. So it was time to change for me. Me getting away, or leaving Phillips and Jordan, starting my own company. I'm working with my two sons here, working with a crowd of people that worked with me forever at Phillips and Jordan.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing it in the place I want to be, which is Robbinsville, and so it's been a great
That's
transition.
Good. That's good. Well, I know I did see some very interesting things, and I don't think people even realize, as far as Phillips and Jordan goes, a lot of cool projects. I mean, when I started highlighting some of these things, I saw reclamation, rehabilitation, tornado recovery, probably things to do with dams and flooding, the Horizon oil spill, canal projects, rock slides, more hurricanes, ice storms, turkey incineration, bark beetle tree removal. But the ones that really, and I know this for being in this community, that kind of touched me the most is you guys were actually involved in the 9/11 cleanup and categorizing of all the debris up there. And I knew some of your associates that worked up there, and a lot of them even had to have some counseling when they came back from that. Talk a little bit about some of this type of work and what it can do to a person, and you know, the challenges of this specialized kind of work that you guys do.
Well, at Phillips and Jordan, we developed a niche of being in disaster, what we call disaster recovery business. And in my lifetime, we worked some of the most high-profile projects in related to disasters or emergency type operations. We worked 9/11, like you said, at the World Trade Center. We worked Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. I lived inside the flooded area in New Orleans for a number of months. We've worked every major natural disaster in this country for the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah, at some point somebody told me you could move like over 1,000 pieces of equipment within 24, 48 hours. Was it something like that?
We had an intense pedigree to show up quick with a lot of resources, and that's one of the reasons we kept getting called over and over and over. So
yeah,
we did do the forensic recovery mission at the World Trade Center, and so we didn't actually work at Ground Zero. We worked on Staten Island, and we had a location set up to where all the debris coming could be.
Is that where the barge kind of took things
Yeah,
out
the
to you
barge
guys?
took it from Manhattan to Staten Island. At Staten Island, we offloaded it, done all the segregation as far as forensic identification of all the different parts and pieces, and so.
I can only imagine. But now let's move on to your business now. And like I said, it looks like it was July of 2013 where you started a rebranding effort into this company. And so I know it probably took a lot to get the company up and running. Tell some of the entrepreneurs out there a little bit about cash flow and personal sacrifices and letters to previous clients, and how do you let them know that you're going in a different way, and other things about, were there any non-competes and kind of that whole startup thing?
Yeah, it's you know, starting a new business is one of the most difficult things any human being will ever do. You know, it's very taxing on you personally, your time, your emotions, mentally. You know,
I'd say it was hard for the family during that
yeah,
time too.
well, it's just anytime, you know, you go through that much change, you know, it's just it's difficult at times. So, you know, the biggest struggle to me for any business starting up is just being undercapitalized and not having sufficient starting money to do what you want to do. Unfortunately or fortunately, I had a big appetite, so. You know, we've grown this business from nothing to, you know, 150 employees. So we've grown it quick. But
Yeah, 2013 was just here, and I did see
Yeah.
that. I think on LinkedIn it had you guys listed between 51 and 200 employees, and it currently looks like you guys are in 10 states and 150 projects. You might have even expanded since that has been updated.
yeah, we've actually got several different companies. We got Graham County Land Company, and we've got National Civil, which is another company, and we've got a company that we own a couple rock quarry locations in called Western Materials.
So these are like affiliates that the reason why you've probably opened them, partnered with them, because it makes sense. You need these kind of people to pull off the kind of work that you're doing.
Yeah, what my vision was is I brought other people in to these other companies and let them have an ownership stake, to have them vested in those companies alongside me, to just to get them fully committed to making sure that they gave it 110%. You know.
Well, and that was kind of one of the things I had on here is when I was viewing the company website, I did see that you had partners, and I didn't really even know that until I started researching the company. And so one of my questions kind of leading to that is, how did those people get to be partners of yours, other than previous work relationship? Was it more sweat equity, knowledge and know-how? Did they have some cash that they could invest in the businesses? Why did you choose these particular folks to be in business with you?
Well, the particular folks that I've ended up here was, it's a combination of the ones that were loyal to me. I had a past working history with them. They sort of got boxed out a little bit during the transition, Some of those people that's involved in the other as partners got cash money in the deal, and then some of them just got sweat equity in the deal. So there's a variety of different approaches. The main thing is picking the quality of person you want to have on your team, and just being familiar with that person. I mean, Julie Hancock is here with me. She worked with me for 20 years at Phillips and Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
She's still here now, and so Julie spent 2 years at the World Trade Center living in Manhattan.
Wow.
And so, she's proven to be
very loyal, dedicated.
very loyal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that it's probably great for people in our community to be involved like that, because they're making a paycheck, and those paychecks have a ripple effect in our own community, because those are spending dollars
one
that
of the
can go
things,
into our
at
economy.
Phillips and Jordan, we always gave incentive bonuses based on profits, and I knew starting this business, and I knew that I would never be able to give bonuses to the extent that had some of these people would receive previously. So
Mm-hmm.
as a trade-off to those bonuses or incentives, I gave them some ownership percentages in the company, and I think that'll be a
Yeah.
worthwhile deal for
Oh yeah,
everybody.
you put a little bit more into it. I mean, you're going to be able to get some more money
Yeah.
out of it eventually. So maybe this hasn't changed too much, because it does seem like the company is growing fairly quickly. What's the difference in 2013 and where the company is today? Tell me a little bit about the early days versus what it's like today.
Well, the business that we're in, the construction business, is very capital intensive. It takes a lot of heavy equipment, which is expensive. Getting over those growing pains of having adequate working capital, adequate credit for equipment purchases. One of the major challenges for me was today, in this world, we all live with credit cards. People operate with credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody carries cash. And so, when you're a single entrepreneur like myself, and you start looking for a credit card with $100,000 limit, you need 80 cards, that sort of throws everybody a little bit.
Yeah.
That's
You're just getting started. I
Yeah,
don't know if we
yeah.
want to bank on you or not.
So having credit cards and a credit card program to keep everybody functioning in the field, we basically buy all rooms, lodging, fuel, travel expenses are all on credit card.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
So it's that was a part that a young entrepreneur needs
Mm-hmm.
to realize. It takes
Well, and
money.
it seems like,
Money and credit to flow.
Yeah, and 2013, it's far enough away from 2008 where that really hurt so many businesses. Construction almost went to a halt. I'd say thank goodness it didn't happen back then, and it kind of
Absolutely.
has
It was
everything
perfect.
rebounded from 2008?
Well, not really, but 2013 was a very good time to do it, because we were coming off of a terrible recession, and things were getting back to normal. The market since 13 till now has been going up and growing. There's more work, but so it was not the perfect time, but it was a good time rather than prior to 2008.
Right. Tell us a little bit, because I do think there's some students at Western Carolina in the construction management program. What makes a good new team member, and what kind of entry-level positions do you have for folks that are coming out of college?
Well, we're continuously looking for young talent that either has an engineering or construction management degree. It'd be great if some of those had some previous construction experience somewhere.
And you mentioned to me at one time that you do some internships in the summertime for folks that are interested.
Yeah, we have not done any here at Graham County Land Company. We should be, but we've not. But we're definitely willing to do it and look at it.
And maybe that's something Western can really help you out with.
At Phillips and Jordan, we had several interns who were local here that worked for us in the summer, and I know they currently have some now. Phillips and Jordan, some college students that are going to Knoxville
Okay.
to do that.